Alright, so we're going to talk about the continuation of working on the foot pieces. The reason why I want to do this basically is to give anybody who hasn't seen the vibrating tool in action a bit of an idea on how that works. I've already, as you can see, I've actually modified some of these tips to be much smaller to work on the finer detail, and the reason why I found them very, very handy. I'm also working outside today, so you'll have to forgive the traffic noise. That's mostly because of the dust with this. Whilst this machine that I'm using doesn't create very much dust at all, it's just nice to have a bit of open air rather than being inside. The light's a lot better as well. So what I've basically done is started breaking these down. That's how they come in the kit, or more to the point, that's how they come in the kit. And when this was originally cut, I did these parts using one of these tools, which I'm sure a lot of modelers have seen and used. It was before I actually got the vibrating cutter, and the difference basically is, well, you can see how clean and that is not in terms of trying to get a good edge in there, as opposed to, well, let's see, probably one like that, where you've got a much sharper edge. Now, it's not going to matter a great deal because, as you can see, all these flashings and everything else are really, really ordinary. The part itself is going to need a lot of reworking and a lot of cleaning up, and there's elements of this, like this should slide together, and all those sort of elements are something that I'm going to be reworking in terms of the part anyway, so it's not a great loss. But in terms of getting to the part that I particularly want, which is this toe joint sort of section, you can see it actually works here. It allows me to get in and actually get that piece out. I don't have to rework the angles and everything else. I basically just need to clean that part up, add in the missing details that I need to do, and then I can cast directly that part. So the primary parts that I'll probably end up casting will actually be these components, which will probably be cut off, and we'll put a sliding component in those. These ones, because of their size and the fact that there's no real sliding part necessary for what they're doing, will probably be cast as one piece. So there's a number of those that I'll end up using. As you can see, the other thing that I've actually done here is, as I've been working on the parts to make sure that they line up, I've been labeling them correctly, so that I know that, you know, I'm working on the right foot and it's number 2, 3, 4 or 5. Okay, so I've only got a couple of bits there that I haven't cut, but I thought I might just take the opportunity to actually show you this machine in action to give you a bit of an idea on the things that it's capable of. The reason why I find it very interesting on this particular part is that obviously there's a lot of dead spots in here that should have been hollowed out in the casting that's been missed. You've got a flat surface here that has to be cut through, and then this one actually steps down. It actually goes across and then goes down, and all of these are very, very difficult parts to cut out if you were trying to do it with one of these sort of saws, and this is where this machine sort of comes into its own in terms of getting that done. So I'll just demonstrate that now. So there you see, we've got that piece cut out. It's come out nice and cleanly. Obviously there's still a lot of cleanup to do, but you can imagine that trying to get those angles, especially as on a sharper angle as that, with any other tool, I think would be, you know, very, very time consuming, nowhere near as quick as what it's taken me to do that, and very, very difficult in terms of the actual access to it as well. You can sort of see how that's supposed to work in terms of the way this piece should be. So I'm going to continue now and cut that piece out. Just a quick thing again for the people who haven't seen one of these tools before. There's very little heat involved in it. The vibration of this as well is very safe. I'll just, which means I can work very closely on that blade and not have any real safety issues at all. So getting into these sort of fine details and sharp corners and that sort of stuff, if you haven't seen one of these machines and you're doing this sort of work at all, and you haven't got one, I highly recommend you look into getting them. They're relatively cheap, and the effort and time that it saves you in doing this sort of work is just well worth it.